Alright guys, we're back with another one, and this is a video comparison between the LG V20 versus the OnePlus 3T. We look at both of the builds of both of these phones. OnePlus got a phenomenal fancy build, but the LG V20 have a more rugged design. This phone can handle any drop that you can put forth on it. This phone is so strong. The screen is a military screen that's been tested, drop protection, military grade screen. This phone is absolutely strong. So when it comes to build, we got to give it to LG with the V20. So let's go into the rear cameras. Both of these rear cameras are 16 megapixel shots, but the LG V20 got 2 cameras. It also has a 8 megapixel wide angle camera, and going against this single 16 megapixel camera. So let's take a look at the shots of the OnePlus 3. Alright, so let's take a look now at the LG V20 camera, but we're going to take a look at the 16 megapixel main shooter along with the 8 megapixel wide angle. Because you know what? With this phone, you can't just take one picture. You got to get both perspectives. So taking a look at the OnePlus 3T, takes pretty good daylight shots. It takes pretty good nighttime shots. Not bad at all. But the LG V20, not only that it has a pretty good, very good 16 megapixel camera in the back, it got that 8 megapixel wide angle. So if you notice, this wide angle really takes some very impressive shots. So combined, you get both perspectives. It makes for an awesome camera. So when it comes to camera, we got to give it to the LG V20, especially that it has 2 cameras giving you that different perspective of what you're taking a picture of. Awesome. These phones have Type-C, USB Type-C charging, and they both charge up very fast. But there's no phone out there that can not only charge up faster, but give you better battery life than the OnePlus 3T. I did battery life reviews for both of these phones, so you can go look that up and check that out to see how long these phones really last. But I'm telling you this, the OnePlus 3T is a battery champ. So we got to give it to the 3T. So now we got to talk about, let's just talk about the headphone jacks. Both of these phones have 3.5mm jacks, and both of these phones output some good audio through your headphones. So when it comes to the 3.5mm jack, there is no doubt with this Quad DAC that's inside this LG V20, you're gonna get some extra punch coming out your headphones or earbuds, whatever it may be. You're gonna get some extra punch from the V20. But just looking at it aesthetically, which one of these screens look better? Well, on paper, the V20 is supposed to have the better screen because it's Quad HD. But you can't take away from how good and punchy the OnePlus 3T looks. But when it comes to screens, Quad HD with a secondary screen up at the top, and this screen is super strong. Military grade drop protection. So when it comes to screens, we got to give it to the V20. The front camera on both of these phones are pretty impressive. You got the OnePlus 3T with a 16 megapixel front facing shooter, man, you're gonna get the ultimate selfies, man. When you get a picture from someone that has a OnePlus 3T, 16 megapixels, you're gonna be wondering what are they using to snap that shot. It's gonna absolutely be impressive. You'll be an Instagram boss with this phone because of the 16 megapixels. But when it comes to the V20, in those social gatherings, when you need that wide angle shots to get you and your friends into selfies, it's gonna be part of your memories. You're gonna be able to get your friends in the shot. That shot is gonna be shared all over the place. You're gonna be a champ when it comes to the selfie camera on the V20. But we gotta choose a winner. And I say it's very bold for OnePlus 3 to go with 16 megapixels. It's gonna make the other brands step up their selfie game. So in this particular area, because it's 16 megapixels, because it looks good, and as well as the V20 wide angle and regular 5 megapixel shot is, I still gotta say OnePlus 3, I like that. 16 megapixel for the 3T, I think that's impressive. Let's take a listen to the V20. Now let's take a listen to the 3T. Now, when it comes to sound of both of these devices, I would say the OnePlus 3T has a more higher mids and highs type of sounds, but the V20 got a little bit of lows, a little bit more deeper sound. This is a more higher pitch, this is a more lower pitch, and pretty much the volume seems like it's higher on the OnePlus 3T. So when it comes to cell phones, you don't really expect great sound coming out of these phones, especially with one speaker coming out the bottom, but you expect volume. So in the speaker, I gotta give it to the OnePlus 3T. It might have the better speaker. Phones have some fast processors. You have the LG V20 with its Snapdragon 820 processor, coupled with 4 gigs of RAM. This phone is absolutely running. Absolutely running. It's a nice phone. It's running. But there's no phone that's running out there right now than the OnePlus 3T. The OnePlus 3T got the Snapdragon 821 coupled with 6 gigs of RAM. So you could be a social media beast, scrolling through your social media, absolutely being a boss because you have more RAM to play with. So the RAM and the processor make a difference. So if you're really a heavy user, the OnePlus 3T is going to be the phone. Let's talk about the fingerprint scanners. Both of these phones got some fast, impressive fingerprint scanners. The 3T have it at the bottom and the V20 have it on the back. Let's take a peek. Pretty fast. OnePlus 3T, really fast. Very fast fingerprint scanner on the 3T. So when it comes to the processor game, fingerprint scanner, we gotta give it to the OnePlus 3T. So when you're looking at both of these phones, which phone do you really want? Do you want a phone that is absolutely fast? You got them here. Do you want a phone that have enough RAM so you can scroll through your social networks? Both of them right here. But the OnePlus 3 is definitely faster when it comes to that 6 gigs of RAM. So out of both of these phones, which phone wins? Well, I would say if you just want the fastest phone on the planet, if you want to scroll through your social media and you don't really care too much about a camera, but you know you want a good selfie cam, then you know what? The OnePlus 3 might be the phone for you. And in your book, the OnePlus 3 wins. But in my book, I need a phone with a bad camera, a really good camera. Selfie game is definitely going to be on point with this phone. And it's strong. Because sometimes when you're taking that shot, you might drop your phone. You just never know. But for me, I want the strongest phone on the planet. I want the Bionic phone. I'm picking the LG V20. So in this particular battle, the LG V20 wins. And that's the end of that. So pretty much with that, we'll see you in the next one.